Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if only I'd made that move back then, now I would be set? Yeah, that thought right there, that is a mental virus. And I'm not talking about a metaphorical virus. I mean a real mental parasite that is designed to keep you stuck. I call it the hindsight virus or the hindsight phantom because it's like a thief in the night. And it doesn't hit you when you're busy. It waits. It waits for a quiet night. You, your phone, scrolling through the past, and it whispers, you missed your shot. That's it. One sentence. And suddenly, you are replaying everything. Everything that you missed. That stock you didn't buy. Bitcoin you didn't buy. The person you didn't talk to. The risks you didn't take. But here's the problem. Your brain is cheating you at that time. When you think about the past, it inserts the knowledge you have today into a moment where or when you didn't have it. It's called counterfactual thinking, and it makes you judge your past self for not knowing what you couldn't possibly know. And the worst part is, it feels like wisdom. It feels like you're being realistic. But this phantom's goal is not to make you wise. It's to make you hesitant. To keep you waiting for the next perfect moment which never comes. I've seen people waste years stuck in this loop. Not because they didn't have potential, but because they kept comparing their present mind to their past decisions and punishing themselves for it. That's like blaming a rookie soldier for not knowing the tactics he only learned years later. Now, on this channel, we destroy this kind of mental viruses and phantoms like that. We expose the tricks it uses to rewrite your memories. We replace it with scripts with one that makes you dangerous again. We turn regret into fuel. So you stop looking backward and start attacking forward. I'm Rock, a cognitive behavioral therapist. And every week here on the WisdomTherapist, I will give you tools, strategies, and mental weapons to dismantle fears, regrets, and hesitation. Because life isn't about catching one lucky break. It's about having a repeatable strike system you can use at any time you want. So, if you ever felt like you missed your chance, or you've been haunted by what could have been, hit subscribe right now. Because in the next videos, and now in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn every missed shot into 10 more opportunities on demand. And this is not about dwelling in the past. It's about taking control of your life and of your present right now. So welcome to the fight against the hindsight phantom. Now, let's be real for a second. This phantom isn't just about the past. It's about stealing your present fire. Here how it works. You see that missed investment or that opportunity you should have taken, and instantly your brain starts running a simulation, a movie of your alternate life, the one where you made the perfect call. In that movie, you are richer, happier, or more confident. And every time you watch it, you're teaching your brain one dangerous message. The best part of my life is already over. Now, here's the science. When you reply those scenarios, your brain fires the same neural patterns as if they were real memories. This is neuroplasticity in action, but in the wrong direction. Instead of building circuits for action and opportunity, you are hardwiring hesitation. And it gets worse, because the phantom doesn't just make you sad about the past, it makes you scared of the future. Why? Because if you believe your big chance already happened, then every new opportunity looks smaller, riskier, not worth it. For example, maybe you missed Bitcoin, but then there was Nvidia, there was Palantir. All this, you see, and that's how people go from being hungry and ambitious to playing defense for the rest of their lives. I've seen it in clients, I've seen it in friends, and honestly, I've seen it in myself. Times where I would look back at the almost moments and feel like my shot was gone. And then I would catch myself waiting for another perfect setup, which never came. The truth. Perfect timing is a myth. It's a story the phantom tells you to keep you standing still, while the battlefield moves on without you. Think about it. Maybe the people you admire, the ones you think got lucky. Yeah, maybe most of them did, but some of them didn't. Maybe some acted in uncertainty. Maybe others moved before they felt ready. And when they missed, they moved again. That's the part the phantom erases from the story. It hides the misses. It hides the messy, awkward starts. Because if you knew the truth, that success is a system and mostly not a single shot, you wouldn't listen to it anymore. So, here's your first counterattack. When that whisper shows up, don't argue with it. Call it out. Call it out loud. That's the phantom in action. The moment you name it, you take it out of stealth mode. And once it's visible, we can dismantle it piece by piece. So, we're going to continue and we're going to show you how this virus acts. Here's the thing about the phantom. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It's a master of stealth. It doesn't run at your at you with fear or panic. It seeps in through the cracks, like a draft you barely notice until the whole room feels colder. And the way it works is genius, in the worst way possible. It waits until you remember a turning point in your life, a job offer, an investment, a relationship you didn't pursue. And then it does something sneaky. It takes your current knowledge, your current skills, and it blends them into your past self. Suddenly, you're looking at that old decision with today's eyes and knowledge. And of course, it looks so obvious. Of course, you should have done it. Of course, you should have bought Bitcoin when it was $1. Of course, you should have talked with that guy or that woman. Yeah, of course, you should have. And that's called hindsight bias. And the Phantom feeds on it. It loves it. It edits the scene, cuts out the uncertainty you felt at the time, all the fear, all the bad stuff, and it erases the information you didn't have. All that's left is a perfect, crystal clear shot you didn't take. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine had a chance to invest in a small tech startup years ago. At the time, the company was unproven, cash was tight, and the risk was huge. Fast forward 10 years, that startup is worth millions. And now, every time he thinks about it, the Phantom plays a perfect highlight reel. No uncertainty, no context, just a flashing number showing how rich he could be, he should be. But here's the truth. Back then, nobody knew. Even the founders didn't know. What he's seeing now isn't the real past. It's the Phantom's edited version. And the danger? Once you start believing those edits, you stop trusting yourself. You start thinking, if I miss that, maybe I'm just bad at decisions. Maybe I'm just unlucky. Maybe I was born unlucky. So, that's how the Phantom gets you to hand over your confidence, without even realizing it. And history is full of those traps. Generals replaying battles they lost, saying, if only I'd moved my troops sooner. Investors kicking themselves for not buying the stock before it exploded. Athletes replaying a single missed shot as if it defined their whole career. In every case, the Phantom is there, writing. And here's why this matters. If you let it keep editing your past, it will start editing your future. Because when the next opportunity comes along, you will hesitate. You will overthink. You'll see 10 ways it could go wrong, and only one way it could go right. But the people who win, they don't wait for the perfect shot. They move. They learn. They adjust. They refuse to let go. So they refuse to let a ghost of the past decide what they should do next. So moving forward, I'm going to show you a 3-step countermeasure to face this Phantom. So let's continue. So when it comes to fighting the Phantom, you don't charge at it swinging wildly. That's what it wants. You have to move with precision, calm, deliberate, inside, inner action, like clearing a room one corner at a time. So here is the 3-step countermeasure for the phantom. The first step, call it out. So the second you hear that whisper, if only you'd acted back then, stop. Out loud, say, that's the phantom. It sounds silly, but this is about breaking his stealth. Because as long as it stays invisible, it can keep controlling the scene. But once you name it, you have cut its camouflage. Step 2. Restore the scene. The phantom loves to give you a corrupt, edited version of the past. Your job is to restore the full picture. Ask yourself, what information did I have back then? What risks did I see at the time? What skills did I not yet have? Say the question and the answers out loud. You will feel the emotional charge drop, because you're no longer judging a rookie with the experience of a veteran. And let me give you an example. So, years ago, I had a chance to join a business deal. It looked solid on paper. I mean, yeah, now it looks fine, but back then, I didn't have the capital, the contacts, or the legal safety net. If I had gone on in, it would have wiped me out. But I see that now. Restoring the scene doesn't erase the regret, but it turns it into understanding, and understanding is harder for the phantom to manipulate. So the step 3 that you do is to transfer the power. Now we turn the past into fuel. The goal here isn't to get over it, it's to use it, to make it useful. So ask yourself, what skill, if I master it now, will make me dangerous in this kind of situation again? That turns the missed shot into a training directive. Maybe it's learning a new market. Maybe it's improving your timing. Maybe it's building a network so deep that the next time you can move instantly. This is where the phantom hates you the most, because you're taking the energy it used to drain you and you're loading it into your next round. And the beauty? You can run this countermeasure in under 2 minutes, anywhere and anytime the phantom shows up. And you'll notice something after a week, or maybe after a month. Those whispers will get quieter. They show up less often. And when they do, you almost smile. Because now you know. Now you are the hunter, not the hunted anymore. So now, in the final part, I will guide you through a live mental drill, simulation that takes every missed shot the phantom has ever thrown at you and melts it down into pure momentum for what comes next. So, stay with me. Alright, you have learned how the phantom works. You've got the countermeasure. Now, we're going to run a live drill. Sit back. Close your eyes if you can, if you're safe, and imagine you're standing in the center of a long, empty room. The floor, dark stone. The air, cool. Somewhere in the shadows, you hear footsteps. From the far end, you see them. The moments you have been replaying, the job you didn't take, the conversation you avoided, the investment you didn't make. They're walking toward you, each one a pale, ghost-like shape. The Hindsight Phantom, like a dark menace, leading them like prisoners on a chain. Now, notice how the Phantom presents them, perfectly lit, with all the uncertainty stripped away, like they were so obvious wins you should have taken. Now, here's what we do. You take a step forward. The room brightens, and suddenly, the real scene appears behind each one. You see the risk you faced at the time. You hear the doubts you had, doubts based on the information you actually had. You see the skill gaps, the unknowns, the reasons you acted the way you did. The ghosts begin to flicker. The phantom starts to back away. And you start to move forward with power, with certainty, with knowledge, with knowing, with inner fuel, like a fire. And he's backing back because its power is fading. Now, one by one, you step up to each ghost and you ask, what can you teach me now that I can use today? The answers come fast. Skills to learn, connections to build, habits to form. And with every answer, the ghost dissolves into a stream of light, flowing into your chest, fueling you, giving you more power, more freedom, more energy, like true inner fuel. By the time you reach the last one, the phantom is gone, and you're standing in a room full of energy, full of power, ready for your next move. Now, you can open your eyes. That's not a fantasy. That's a rep, a mental repetition. Do it often enough, and the phantom loses its grip. Do it often enough, and you start moving faster, acting bolder, creating more. Now, if you want to keep building this momentum, here's your move. First, hit subscribe to the Wisdom Therapist right now. Every week, I will bring you tools like this. Practical, tactical psychology that you can use immediately. Second, if you want to go deeper, pick up my book, Mind Mastery. It's packed with strategies to dismantle mental blocks like this and unlock your true potential in work, relationship, and life. Link in the description. Third, if you're ready for personalized, one-on-one work, you can book a private session with me. We will identify exactly where the phantom or other mental demons, or however we can call them, is or are hiding in your life. And we will build a system to move you forward faster than you thought possible. And now, remember, regret is a ghost, but momentum is real. And the only way to beat the hindsight phantom is to keep moving. So that's it for today, my friends. See you in the next battle round.